Looks like we're live. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live watch along this evening of the Coppa Italia semi-finals first leg between Inter Milan and Juventus. I'm looking forward to this one. It's at the San Siro. It's only the first leg as well, so that means there are big chances for both teams in both 90 minutes of the games to head to the final. So the result tonight would not end the tie. They will have their second leg this time next week as well, and then we'll find out who will reach the Coppa Italia final. I'm Jamie Davies. Thanks for tuning in, and of course in just about 4 minutes or so we will have the kick-off between Inter and Juventus. Now, of course, it wasn't that long ago these two sides actually faced each other. Not in this competition, but in the league, which of course we all know as Serie A. And it was Inter Milan that won the game at the San Siro. It was not really a great night for Juventus. There wasn't much chances in that game, but guess who scored against his old team? And it was his first senior goal for a good while. I can't remember how long, but it was a long time coming, and it was Vidal. Of course, now he's playing in the blue and black strip, and he used to play in the white and black strip, but here he is now playing for Inter Milan, the hosts tonight. Now, you've probably noticed, are these shirts behind me just there out of nowhere? Well, no, of course not. Of course, with this big occasion, I remembered looking around the wardrobe earlier and found out that I forgot that I had a Juventus retro kind of shirt here with Nedved on the back, which, as we all know from the early 2000s, he was phenomenal for Juventus and for his country, the Czech Republic. And he actually won the FIFA Ballon d'Or as well. Not many players can say they've won that. Robert Lewandowski. I'm sorry, Robert. You did deserve that Ballon d'Or, which we know virtually you won it. All in our heads, we'll tell our kids one day that in 2020, it was Robin Lewandowski's and it was robbed. We'll just picture in our heads, and I'm sure Lewandowski has pictured it in his head on many occasions since last year. And next to me is actually last year's third Inter Milan kit, which was really cool, all black, with the Padelli logo on the front with the yellow rectangle over it, which was just awesome. It's a fantastic shirt, and to be honest, I got this shirt about a week after Christian Eriksen this time last year had signed for Inter Milan from Spurs, which of course is not going very well, is it? Well, it was this time last week as well that myself and Seb True did a live watch along of this game, and Christian Eriksen, sorry, not of this game, it was the Milan derby in the Serie A title race, and Eriksen came on and then scored in the 97th minute with a free kick. It was the winning goal against AC Milan at the stadium we'll be at tonight, of course, the San Siro. So, yeah, luckily I had both shirts. I thought I'd hang them up for this big occasion. Of course, I might have to leave these up for next week as well if we do a watch along for that as well. And, of course, I'm just making sure that we are live. If you've only just tuned in, do give us a subscribe if you haven't already. Luke Tanner, one of our members of Let's Talk Sport, has put, "Good evening, Jamie. Have a good stream tonight." Thank you very much, Luke. Don't leave me behind. Be sure to be there for me. I'd very much appreciate it. We're just waiting for the stream to start. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. And actually, if you're wondering what the lineups are and you haven't had time to check them just yet, if you actually go in our description below, you will see the lineups, which includes the starting 11 from both teams and their bench. Let's look at Inter Milan, shall we? Handanovic is in goal for Inter, Skriniar, and then Vrij, Bastoni, Darmian, of course, an ex-United player, Barella, who scored against Juventus in the last game a few weeks ago. Vidal, as mentioned before, is going up against his old club. Young, Lautaro, Martinez and Sanchez complete the starting lineup, and then on the Inter bench it's Padelli, Radu, Gagliardini, Vecino, Kolarov, Sensi, Ranocchia, Perisic, Eriksen and Ambrosio, and Pinamonti completes the bench. For Juventus it's the legendary Buffon in goal, Quadrado, then Demiral, Delect, who I'm excited to watch. I've always been excited to watch Delect for Ajax as well as for Juventus. Alexandro, McKennie, Bentancur, Rabiot, Benarteshi, Ronaldo, who could not forget him. He will be starting as the main man. Kulusevski complete the starting lineup for Juventus, and then on the bench it's their other goalkeeper Szczesny, Penzoglia, Collini, Danilo, Bonucci, Dragusin, Fabata, Arthur, Chiesa, Fagioli, Peters and Morata, and the referee is Calvarese. Apologies if my name pronunciations wasn't the best there. Well, the players have just got onto the pitch, as you can probably hear in the background. And just the usual songs to start it all off. A bit dramatic. But it's such a shame it's in an empty San Siro tonight. And Luke Tanner's just got in touch again. He said that Liverpool had a £50 million bid projected for Damalo on deadline day, which is a massive transfer fee. Of course, if that is the case, Luke, then that's a bit of a most big chance wasted there, you could say, maybe. Anyway, the anthems are all done. Of course, I would say they're doing their handshakes, but that can't be done, of course. And we just get ready for the kick-off in just a few moments' time. If you've just tuned in, let us know in the live chat page. And let us know who you think's going to win this first leg. Of course, it's a two-legged game, so whoever wins tonight, no, they can't celebrate too much, just depending on the scoreline maybe. But who knows? I think Inter Milan are probably the favourites going into this game because of what happened a few weeks ago. But it is a cup tie, and it really comes down to who wants the trophy more, because they know that it gives them a big chance to win Coppa Italia if they can reach the final after this tie. Seb True and Luke Tan, if you are watching, if you could just check for me if the audio sounds okay. Hopefully the noise isn't too much from inside the San Siro. And also to the people who are watching, do you like your Nedved Eriksen shirts behind me, representing both teams? Well, we're just getting ready. And that will mean I'll have to get this clock ready at the bottom. Pirlo and Conte, of course, the managers. Andrea Pirlo, the Juventus manager. He is the coolest man in the world. He's just so cool. His beard, his hair, his everything. Just needs sunglasses now on the sidelines, which would be a bit weird in Italy winter's night. Conte watching on as well. He's in his usual suit and his big coat. Inter and Juventus players are lined up and ready to go. Just waiting for the referee signal, and it'll be Juventus that will kick off the game. The referee, as always in Italy, wearing the fluorescent colours, which is a good old tradition in Italy, which they never change the colours, I don't think. I might be wrong though, unless you're wearing the Lazio kit. Well, here we go. And the game begins. What can we expect? Juventus kicking it off from right to left in their good old traditional home colours of black and white strip. Thanks to Luke to say the audio is okay. Can you hear the atmosphere okay? If you can, let me know. Or if not. Right, anyway. And of course Inter playing in their traditional home colours, the blue and black strip. Famous, of course, in the black shorts as well. Buffon, it's good to see him playing tonight. I wonder how many more games he'll have against Inter Milan as a Juventus goalkeeper. Probably another 50 more years, you never know with him. 42 I think he is now. It's quite incredible. It's with Cristiano Ronaldo then on the left hand side. And they'll just calm the game just for now. Early days, of course. If you've just tuned in, do give Let's Talk Sport a subscribe, and also do let us know your thoughts on this game or any other matches going on in Europe or in the world right now, or any football topics from yesterday, especially transfer deadline day. Very, very busy one, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it was very busy. I've just seen Sebastian True's comment. He says, considering the lineups, who do you think is taking the tie more seriously? Well said. Let's look at it again. If you haven't seen the lineups yet, folks, it's in the description of this video. I guess when you look at it, it's an interesting one. I think if you ask me, maybe Juventus. But, again, Young and Vidal are there, aren't they? Sanchez, no Lukaku. Which is annoying because I put the Lukaku on the on the thumbnail, and he's not even playing unless I've missed him completely. But yeah, Luke Tanner saying that Buffon is probably one of the best players not to win the Champions League. Yeah, you're probably right. He's been in how many finals? 3 or 4. So the fact that he's missed out so much is quite heartbreaking. Inter Milan having the ball in possession at the moment, just under 3 minutes in so far. It's with Sanchez on the halfway line. Only to play it back to Vidal. Empty San Siro. We don't like that, do we? Ah, Seb's just told me that the Lukaku's suspended for this one, that's why. Ah, fair enough. I wasn't sure of that. It's a shame because Juventus will look at this and they may want to take the opportunity here, but let's not forget they'll feel a bit, maybe a little frightened after what happened in the last meeting a few weeks ago in the same venue, but that's, of course, every game is different. Let's not forget. And Pirlo, well, he's got a bit to prove, hasn't he? He's got to go for the title, which is not going his way at the moment. They're 5 or 6 points off at the moment with a game in hand over AC Milan. Here come Inter anyway. They went to the Juventus into the Inter box. It's on the left-hand side at the moment, and it's crossed. And it looks as though one of the players was offside. Yeah, it's one of the Juventus players, and Inter Milan will get a free kick. Here come Inter. Ooh, chip ball into the box, and Cuadrado gets there. I mean, who needs this trophy more? That's the big question. I think it's always a bit daft to even say that, to even ask that, because both teams obviously want it just as much as the other, I'd imagine. Let's not forget Antonio Conte is known for being an FA Cup runner-up as a manager and then won it the year after. You know, I always say this, I thought he had 2 good seasons at Chelsea. He won trophies. Premier League in his first season ever in English football, which it deserves a lot of credit. Did pretty much what Carlo Ancelotti did in 2010, and he won the FA Cup that year as well. So there's some Italian blood there, knowing how to succeed in England as a manager. But I think for Juventus, you know, especially for Pirlo, Conte knows how to win trophies. He's proven that. For someone like Pirlo, for someone who's quite inexperienced at being a senior manager, trophy really does lift things off for a manager, I think. It certainly gives them that confidence and that experience of being in a situation where they are competing for a trophy. Especially, I mean, look at Solskjaer at the moment. You know, he's someone who's, obviously I'd say I'm a United fan, as people know. I think he's doing a good job in the time he's been there, but he needs a trophy at some point to kind of get the people off his back. That's what happens when you're at a club that it has a history of success. Excuse me, I didn't mean to sneeze. It's going to be a Juventus goal kick. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. Here come Juventus at the moment on the left hand side. Ball goes across the field. It's with Cuadrado. Instead they just go to the back line, Juventus, after all that. Always frustrates me that. I know it's easy to say it from our side as people who watch, but you just hate a team going backwards. But sometimes there's nothing you can do when there's ooh, and Delit just giving the ball away to his fellow centre-back, which nearly got away from him. And look, the right-back was there to pick it up. That could have been easily a throw into Inter deep in their own half from nothing. With no pressure either. Here they come now, Juventus, after all that then. On the left wing, the cross comes in. No one there for them to head that ball, and Inter Milan will delightfully take that with them. And here come Inter. And here they come on the attack, and here they come from the right-hand side, and it's a shot at goal! Oh, and Buffon should have saved it! It was through him at the end, and Inter Milan opened the scoring. We've not even reached 10 minutes yet, and it's Martinez with the goal. Oh dear. Well, it was a cross, low ball cross across the face of goal, and it went straight through Buffon, which really, I mean, it's Buffon, he should save that, and it's Inter Milan who take the lead here out of nowhere in a way. But all of a sudden, Juventus on the back foot, and Inter straight away take the lead. Inter Milan 1, Juventus 0. Exactly what Conte was hoping for to start this tie off. Oh, and Buffon, he won't want to watch that back anytime soon. It was a good cross in all fairness, and the finish was okay, but it's straight at Buffon, and yeah, Buffon will be annoyed. He knows he could do better. It's a good strike though, and it's always difficult when there's some power behind it. It can still be difficult for a goalkeeper to keep it out, but I think some people will look at that and think it could have been avoided for Juventus. So, 10 minutes in, it's Inter Milan 1, Juventus 0. Another goal from Inter early on could really affect this tie. Already Juventus have to look for that equalizer. Of course, there's plenty of other games going on tonight. In the Premier League especially, let's have a quick look at those, shall we? Earlier game, Sheffield United getting a 2-1 win over West Brom, their third win of the season. That is an incredible win for Sheffield United against their relegation rivals as well. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I was talking to my dad before this game today, and I was thinking, I bet you Sheffield United get a win over West Brom, and I just think it's another reason to why, despite Big Sam being a manager who has a history of keeping teams up, I don't think he'll do it with this one. I think he might fail at this one, but if you don't try, you don't know. Plenty of games to go, but it just doesn't look right, does it, for West Brom at the moment? And in the other game, Wolves beat Arsenal 2-1, which I've only just seen as well. So, great win for Wolves with the pressure on their manager, Nuno. They needed that. And, you know, Arsenal, let's be honest, they're on good form. They'll be a bit good about that. They were up against Wolves at the right time, but they couldn't get the win. And I think Wolves beat them at the Emirates earlier this season. So if I'm right, that's a double for Wolves this season over Arsenal in the league. And of course, in about a quarter of an hour's time, United host Southampton, while Newcastle United welcome Crystal Palace. So we've got a very, very interesting evening coming up in the Prem. Back with this game though, Juventus looking for that equaliser after an early goal for Inter Milan. Martinez opening the scoring after Buffon could have kept it out. Juventus have the possession on the halfway line at the moment. Oh, it's a terrible chipped forward ball from one of the Juventus midfielders there. And Vidal will dispossess. Must admit, the one thing I don't like about empty grounds is more opportunities for sponsor boards to be all over the stadium where the fans would normally sit. It's quite annoying. It's like, I'm not going to buy your products. I'm not going to get insurance from you guys and all that. Again, advertising, you can't beat it, I guess, but I've never ever bought anything that I've seen advertised, I don't think. Seb True talking to me about the Arsenal game, saying 2 red cards for Arsenal tonight. Let's have a look. Yes, David Luiz on the 48th minute. Wow, 3rd minute of added time in the first half. And then Leno was sent off, the goalkeeper, on the 72nd minute. I mean, despite the red cards, it's still a good win for Wolves. But Wolves know that they need to get better because they don't want to end up in a relegation battle. Despite the first few years they've had back in the Premier League, you wouldn't have thought they would be in that bottom half. I think Inter Milan have themselves a free kick here. I think, has there been a booking? The referee had his hand in his pocket there. And it looked as though he was putting a card back in, but there's nothing to say that there's been a yellow card. I did miss that. The goal kick's taken for Inter. It's a long one, looking for Sanchez, the last man up front. Doesn't win the possession though. Delect. What a player he is. I think he's an absolute phenomenal defender. Quadrado. Couldn't get it to Ronaldo at the end, and it'll go out for a throw-in. And the Lukaku, there's cameras on Lukaku in the stands. He looks cold. He's got a hoodie underneath his coat. He's got the hood over his head. He's got his usual face mask on since he's not on the pitch. And he looks cold up there. He looked like he was shaking. If you have just tuned in, welcome to our live watch along of Inter Milan versus Juventus in the Coppa Italia semi-finals first leg. Inter Milan drawing first blood thanks to Martinez with a goal in front of, well, pretty much scoring in front of goal, but Buffon had his hands and his body in front of it and it still went in. I'll be honest about Buffon. I like Buffon a lot, but I think the last few years, I'm not saying he's not a good goalkeeper anymore, but he has made mistakes, which, you know, maybe it comes with age. You know, you expect that, I guess, from older goalkeepers. They're not as fast as they used to be, maybe, but they've still got the reflexes now and again. But there was some mistake. I remember the Champions League final in 2017. I mean, I remember it that well because I was there. It was in Cardiff at the Principality Stadium, or as some people like to call it, the Millennium Stadium. And there was 1 or 2 moments in that game where, I don't know, it just didn't, I'm not saying he had a bad game, but it's just, I just felt like with Buffon, if it was a younger goalkeeper, would it have been 4-1? I don't know. I think Real Madrid were always going to win that game anyway. Juventus don't spend as much money as Real Madrid did on that squad. And let's not forget Cristiano Ronaldo was in that game. And you had Bale, Toni Kroos, Benzema, Casemiro, you know, all sorts of players. Ramos, Varane, you know, it's hard to go up against that. I think Inter Milan have got themselves a free kick, but it's only inside their own half, so it's no threat. But there was a moment between Sanchez and Ronaldo, both number 7s going for the ball, and there wasn't really any contact in it. And Ronaldo's actually wondering why it's a free kick for Inter. But just as I say that, the game's still paused, and Sanchez is having a word with the referee. Oh, and he's actually giving it to Juventus instead. I think Sanchez expected it to go the other way, but instead Juventus here actually have a free kick, which will no doubt be delivered into the box, I'm sure. Can they deal with it? I think it's Ronaldo behind it. I might be wrong. No, can't see. Referee's just pausing the game before the free kick is taken. Actually, Ronaldo's lined up on the edge of the box with his teammates of Delict and Cuadrado. Here we go then. Oh, it's only a short free kick. Why did he just swing it in? Instead, it's gone out to the right wing, and I'd imagine they'll try and cross it. Yep, they will. Only to be beaten by the first man of Inter. And instead, it'll be a shot outside the goal, and it's gone out for a goal kick to Inter, which was... I don't understand short free kicks or short corners. Just put the ball in the box. I mean, even if you're not the best in the air with your team, just get it in the box. Just give it a go, you know. Seb True saying, I see that Bayer Leverkusen are losing in the cup to a 4th division side. Oh dear, I'd imagine that is the DFB Cup. He says it's just below Dortmund 2 in their respective league. Wasn't a weak team played by Boss. Of course, we do normally do some Bundesliga watch-alongs on our channel. Subscribe to our channel for those future watch-alongs. Oh, they lost! Oh, it's over! Oh dear! That is bad. Let's have a look. I haven't actually looked at any scorelines or results, as you could probably tell today. Let's have a look. Well, Dortmund are 2-0 up. It's only been 23 minutes against Paderborn. Paderborn are in Bundesliga 2. I can't remember. Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, Leverkusen lost 2-1 to Essen, which isn't good. Wolfsburg and Schalke play tomorrow. Werder Bremen are up 1-0 against Fürth. Just about to reach 20 minutes here. Oh, it was in extra time, so it was 0-0 before the 90 minutes. Oh, there's calls for a foul, and Juventus do win a free kick. You can hear the dugout screaming at the referee. Referee has listened. And Barella had a terrific game in this encounter a few weeks ago in the league. Yeah, Barella goes right behind the Juventus player, didn't get the ball, and took him down. And Juventus have restarted the game with the free kick. It's with Cuadrado on the edge of the centre circle, and he's a bit annoyed because he just put his hands up then when he made the pass and was like, you know, where's the support, guys? Trying to push it forward, but there's no way of doing it. There's 2 or 3 interplays on him as well, trying to dispossess them. Here they come, Juventus. Nice triangular passing just outside the Inter box. It's now on the left-hand side. It's now with McKennie. Juventus not really had a chance yet. I don't recall any big chances, but yet Inter haven't really. They got one chance and they scored. I'm sure the stats would say there's only been one shot on target in this game, being the goal. Don't forget to subscribe to Let's Talk Sport on YouTube. Inter Milan trying to go for the break attack again, as they did with their opening goal, and it's been intercepted by Delict. Possession on the halfway line now with Bentancur. Now with Rabiot on the left-hand side. Oh, Ronaldo for a moment looked like he was going to try and go for goal from about 30, 35 yards out, which, of course, you wouldn't put it past someone like him. Here he goes in the run in the box, and he gets tracked down, and Inter Milan intercept. It's with Darmian. Darmian gets denied by the ref that it was a last touch off him and not his opponent, and they'll have a throw in Juventus on the near side. Folks, just trying to test out the audio. Here comes Juventus then. It's on the left-hand side. Cross comes in. No one at all. Well, I say there was at least 3 players there, but they couldn't get it right. And there's a bit of a thing going on with the Inter goalkeeper and Cuadrado. Not really sure what the whole fuss is about. I think the referee just needs to deal with the situation and get them to just walk away and put their bags back in the dugout. Yeah, Cuadrado was on his bottom on the ground. Well, the referee is. Oh, he's going to check VAR actually, so it looks as though they're going to review a penalty here. So Juventus might actually get themselves a penalty here. Well, the referee's checking the screen on the sidelines. Now what happens is that it was a cross from the wing, and then Cuadrado went down when the ball came. But I mean, I don't know. The ball was never going to get to him, so there's not that much of a threat. There isn't much contact there from what I'm seeing. He's running for it, and he beats his defender on the run. He does. It looked actually, when watching back, it looked as though, I might be wrong, but it might have been Vidal who's pulling him while he's making the run, because he's beaten him. And I think the Inter defender was a bit worried there that he would beat him on the pace and get to the ball, but the ball was never going to get to him anyway. It was a poor cross. The referee's watching it from a different angle, which is quite far. I think they're checking to see if it might be offside, but it definitely isn't. He's checked the monitor, he's made his decision, and it is a penalty. And Juventus have themselves a penalty. A chance to get themselves back on the scoreboard. Well, if they could get this into the net, it'll be a very interesting first 25 minutes we'd have had here. Who's going to take it though? It looked as though it was Ashley Young who's got the yellow card. Yep, it is the ex-Manchester United and Aston Villa player. So it was Ashley Young's responsibility for Juventus getting the penalty. And I think it'll be the usual man to take the penalty, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's just waiting for the referee to just tell the Inter players to get behind the box and to do their job. It's Ronaldo. Oh, right into the roof of the net, in the middle, and it's 1-1. Could you really put it past him? And you can even hear the substitutes and his teammates shout the good old Zeus, or whatever it is. But Cristiano Ronaldo makes it 1-1. We've certainly got a game on our hands here, folks. He's into the roof of the net. No problem whatsoever for Ronaldo. The goalkeeper went to his right. He had no chance of saving that. And Pirlo delighted with the equaliser. Juventus haven't really been that much threat, but I'd say they've had more possession. But that was, you know, the cross wasn't great at all, and Ashley Young, it's easy for him to watch back now and think maybe if he just left him on the run and the ball would never have landed on him, there would have been no foul and no penalty. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. I've just, of course, remembered that the United game is on now, so I better put that on my phone and watch in the background. They are my team, in case you are wondering, so I'll keep an eye on them and I'll give you updates if you like. Unless you're waiting for match of the day later, in which you don't want to know the score. If so, do let me know in the live chat page and I can keep myself quiet on that. Yeah, the game's just about to kick off at Old Trafford. Don't forget to subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. We'd very much appreciate it. And Inter Milan have just been caught offside with Sanchez. He is their main man up front for this game since Lukaku is suspended. But he should be back for their second leg next week, of course, in Turin. There's actually an interesting fact here about Cristiano Ronaldo. You may have seen this on Twitter now and again of the costs and all that of Ronaldo going to Juventus, and then of course involving Jeep, their main shirt sponsor. This is quite incredible. Jeep sponsorship before Ronaldo, 16 million euros. After Ronaldo, 50 million euros. The Adidas sponsorship before Ronaldo joined was 23 million euros, but now after all that it's 51 million euros. It's just crazy how much money one player can bring to a club. And the social media following, listen to this. Before it was 49.7 million, which is a lot anyway, but after that he made sure that the club had around at least 97 million followers afterwards. It's a brand, isn't it? It's a business. You're not just buying a player, you're buying a name, and you know the shirt sales follow as well, and it really does help a club, which some may know that Juventus are having problems financially, but yeah, again, so a lot of other clubs, and I guess with Ronaldo it kind of helps, but he's worth a lot of money, so it doesn't help the wage bill, that's for sure. 1-1 after half an hour on Let's Talk Sport. Inter Milan 1, Juventus 1. It was Martinez who opened the scoring for Inter after a bit of a blunder from Buffon, which could have kept the ball out, and then Ashley Young getting done for a foul on what looked to be Quadrado for it to be a Juventus penalty, and who else but Cristiano Ronaldo getting the equalizer. And there's a foul on Darmian, who was actually very high up there as a right back. And it's a yellow card for Sandro for Juventus. So Inter Milan have themselves a free kick here. Just watching the other game and only 2 minutes in, and Man United. Oh, it's a red card for Southampton. Oh dear. 2 minutes into the game and Southampton at Old Trafford are down to 10 men. And with the Newcastle Palace game, oh, Shelby's just scored an absolute volley. I think it's a half volley. It's a half volley from outside the box against Palace. So already in both the 2 Premier League games, Southampton are down to 10 men at Old Trafford, and Newcastle, who need wins to stay up, are 1-0 up against Palace thanks to John Joe Shelby. And in this game now at the San Siro, it's Sanchez with the free kick. Oh, and the header wide past the far post. Not a bad effort there from Inter. They just need to get themselves back in this game because they've been very quiet since they opened the scoring. Inter Milan on the back foot at the moment, goalkeeper having to make the clearance. Well, it was actually, from looking back at the United game at the moment, Southampton had a red card because it was a nasty late challenge on McTominay, which has left marks on his thigh. Actually, here come United now. It's on the front foot, trying to cut in and try and get the opening goal. Instead, Southampton deal with it. And they've got a big task now if they're going to get anything from Old Trafford, down to 10 men after 2 minutes. Seb has also shared that on our live chat page. We do love your update, Seb. It's very appreciated, especially for our viewers who are focused on this Inter Milan Juventus game in the Coppa Italia. Juventus not sure what to do with it on the back foot at the moment. Oh dear, the clearance isn't great. Oh, luckily Delect is there to deal with the mess. At the midway point of Juventus half at the moment. And here they come. Oh, and it's on the back foot, and the goalkeeper. Oh, the goalkeeper's off his line, and Ronaldo has scored. He has. Oh dear, oh dear. It was literally a mistake between the defender and the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's out the box, loses possession. Who's there? Ronaldo picks it up, and he just scores the open goal at such a tight angle as well. That is absolutely fantastic. Literally within 5 or 6 minutes, Ronaldo has got Juventus back in front. I say back in front for the first time of the game. They're in front here against Inter Milan. Ronaldo, what a goal. Let's re-watch that then. On just before we reach 35 minutes. It's a tight angle and it just hits the inside post just to be sure that it crossed the line. And oh dear, Inter Milan, after the Buffon mistake, it's now 1-1 in terms of mistakes in this game. But Ronaldo has got them up 2-1 away from home as well, which, wow, what game we have. We've still got only 10 minutes, still got 10 more minutes of the first half yet. Fantastic. What a game. Better actually, I've got to change everything now. All sorts going on. I thought I'd better change the score line. So literally within 9 minutes between both goals, the Juventus won. Ronaldo double. Normal night for him, isn't it, really? Anyway, here they come again, Juventus. It's 4 against 4 as it enters the box. Inter have to be careful there. They don't end up being 3-1 down. Calls for a foul. Not really sure, but it looks as though oh, it's a yellow card for Vidal. Oh, and Vidal, he's known for it in midfield. He likes to get himself a booking now and again. It was a late challenge on Ronaldo, I think it was, just from behind. To be honest, actually, looking back at, well, it's in slow-mo, the replay, but didn't look like there was actually much contact in that, and we all know Ronaldo, it doesn't, well, actually, Vidal does get his right foot out, and he's nowhere near the ball, so it's a definite yellow if he catches him. Vidal completely disagreeing with the referee, but I think he knows deep down it's a yellow card. Oh, and here come Juventus again. It's now with Ronaldo on the right hand side, Cuadrado with assistance. He's got it now on the right wing near the corner flag. So they can put the ball back a few yards, and actually it goes out of play while the pass was attempted to be completed. A throw-in for Inter. Just try and calm a few things down there. Ashley Young to take the throw, and he's responsible for Juventus getting that penalty to equalise through Ronaldo. Don't forget to subscribe to Let's Talk Sport, much appreciated. Of course, there's no Eriksen playing in the starting lineup for Inter tonight. No Nedved either, but he is retired, so I think he deserves a break. So now with Kaluski. The last man back for Juventus. No pressure on him. Inter Milan have been really quiet. You know, if this stays like this, it's a great response from Juventus after the last tie. As I said though before, and Seb brought up the question in the chat page, which was, you know, which team has taken this more seriously when you look at the starting lineups? And Inter Milan, I'm sure, would have started Lukaku if he wasn't suspended. Oh, actually, Buffon just doing a short pass. I thought for a moment Buffon was injured with his foot there. He didn't look up for it then, but there's me reading the signals completely wrong. Still Man United 0, Southampton 0 in the Prem, just 11 minutes gone there, but if you don't know yet, Southampton have been down to 10 men since the second minute. A late challenge on McTominay. Here comes Ronaldo with a shot. 30 yards out, way over the target, but oh, it's so dangerous if he gets it on target there. It's just an absolute nightmare for any goalkeeper to deal with those shots. Absolute nightmare. think there's been another goal at St James's Park. This time it's Crystal Palace, I think. Yep, it's... Oh, no, I'm not sure, actually. Oh, a good shot there. Bentanco with a shot on target, had to be dealt with. Just in line with the goal, and it's straight to the hands of the Inter goalkeeper. 3 minutes to go. Juventus will be delighted with this after being 1-0 down. I think Conte will have a bit of a talk to with his team at half-time. He doesn't look happy on the sidelines, and you wouldn't blame him, because since the goal there has not really been anything from Inter. But in the meantime, Lautaro has gone down and he wins Inter Milan a free kick. Will there be a yellow card? I wouldn't have given him it. He did get the ball from behind, and Pirlo putting his hands like this, praising, you know, it's not a foul. What are you doing, ref? However, we have seen fouls like that given. Well, it's into that other free kick. Instead of it being direct, it's just a short one. It's with Sanchez now onto the left-hand side. Cross comes in, straight to the hands of Buffon. He keeps it in both hands, despite colliding with Barella. Keeps it in his hands, which the last thing he'd want to do is make another mistake tonight or spill it in front of Lautaro, who, if it had spilled to him, would have been right on his feet and just a simple tap-in. Oh, now here come Juventus. There's about 4 of the Inter defenders at back at the moment, but they get into the box anyway, Juventus. Cross comes in, no header there for Juventus to get to. It's now with Ronaldo. He's on the right wing, he's here, there, everywhere. The energy is ridiculous, but actually it looks as though there's Ashley Younger's down at the moment. No, it's Vidal, sorry, and it's one of the Juventus players down, so the game has been paused. There was a clash of heads between the two players. And that'll pause the game for a few seconds. As you can see on the timer, it's been 45 minutes now. I don't think they've announced how much stoppage time there is. Maybe there isn't, which I'll be surprised, because we've had 3 goals and a penalty and a VAR check. Of course, at half-time we'll keep an eye on, talk about what's going on in the world of football in terms of score lines. Match still paused. When it was last played, it was going to be an Inter Milan throw-in. I don't know if they'll resume on that. Instead, it might just be a kick from Inter back into Juventus half. It's 1 minute of added time, which is still a bit surprising because we had a VAR check and we've had 3 goals. So anyway, yep, as expected, Inter have just kicked it back into the Juventus half, and I don't think there'll be much left to play for in this first half. Southampton have just had a big chance, I think. It's just a bit wide off the United goal. De Gea, luckily for him, it just went behind for a goal kick. come Juventus with the cross. Oh! Ronaldo went for the header, and I think it hit his hand. And he's having it. Oh, he's got a yellow card for it, Ronaldo, and he's a bit annoyed because I think he's stressing at the referee that he lost his balance and he couldn't deal with it. But it doesn't matter, the referee's given him it. It's a yellow card for Ronaldo. But I'm sure it won't dampen his first half performance, as it's half time here at the San Siro, and Inter Milan are 2-1 down, thanks to Ronaldo getting 2 goals to get them in front after being 1-0 down from a Martinez goal. That was a big blunder, I thought, from the veteran goalkeeper of Buffon, Gianluigi Buffon, who will be annoyed with himself, I think, but he'll be very happy to see his teammate Ronaldo get the team in front. Another half to go though, but so far so good. So let us know in the live chat page your thoughts on the game so far. United have just scored. It's 1-0 after 18 minutes against a 10-man Southampton. Wan-Bissaka opening the scoring, who's an unlikely candidate to open the scoring for Man United, but I'll say this now, as a United fan myself, I'll take anything when it comes to goals right now, because it's not been easy. But just as we say that, they've resumed the game, and Southampton have got themselves a free kick here. But anyway, yeah, half time. Let us know your thoughts on the game so far. Inter Milan 1, Juventus 2, a Ronaldo double separating the two sides. And if you haven't yet, do give Let's Talk Sport a subscribe for our future videos. We're at 320 at the moment. We would love to get to 400 if possible. Let's go through the other scores, shall we? If I can find them. So let's have a look. In the if I can find it, looks as though Southampton had a close chance of getting an equalizer. So at the moment, Man United 1, Southampton 0. Wan-Bissaka separating the two sides there. 22 minutes gone for Newcastle United and Crystal Palace. Oh, Bruno, shot deflected and to the hands of the Southampton keeper. Newcastle United 1, Crystal Palace 1. Shalvey opened the scoring within 2 minutes, and he scored an absolute fantastic half volley. And you should check it out if you haven't seen it yet, because it's an absolute brilliant goal. And Crystal Palace, about 20 minutes or so later, got an equaliser, and they're back to 1-1. But the big shock, really, well, I guess it's not a big shock. It's Sheffield United 2, West Brom 1 at full time. That was an earlier game. And because of that win for Sheffield United, they're now just a point behind West Brom. But they're still 10 points off the safety, which Brighton have a game in hand over Sheffield United. And Brighton beat Tottenham on the weekend, which I don't think Sheffield United were expecting. Fulham are 7 points now behind Brighton, but they've got a game in hand over Brighton. West Brom, I think West Brom and Sheffield United, I just think there's too much to do for them to stay up. I was going to go for Fulham to stay up, but they need to get themselves going, because if Brighton can create a gap, or Burnley, then they're in trouble. But that was a big win for Brighton over Tottenham, and you could tell from Potter's face on Sunday night at full time what a relief it was for him to start getting some goals. What's going on in the other games? There is all sorts of football going on tonight. In the Scottish Premiership, Celtic are actually winning a game. They're 1-0 up at half-time at Kilmarnock, and it was Brown who opened the score in there just before it reached half an hour in. Ooh, United nearly had a chance to go 2-0 up there with a Lindelof header, but he was offside from the free kick. In the Championship, Millwall 0, Norwich City 0 at full time. AFC Bournemouth hosting Sheffield Wednesday with 8 minutes to go, and it's 1-1. Coventry City hosting Nottingham Forest, and they're 2-1 down to Forest. 2 goals from Forest have come from Graben and Rose, with an own goal actually for Coventry City, so that's going to really hurt them. Rotherham United and their game with Derby County was actually postponed this evening. Very late postponement as well. Waterlogged pitch. Has been raining a lot around in England today. Wycombe Wanderers goalless with Birmingham City. 80 minutes gone. In League 1, Swindon Town 1, Wigan Athletic 0. That's full time. Blackpool 1, Northampton Town 0 after 82 minutes. Portsmouth 3-1 up at Charlton Athletic, 82 minutes gone. And a bit of a derby going on in the northwest. Shrewsbury Town 0, Crewe Alexandra 1 with 8 minutes to go, and Dale's first half goal separates the two sides. Accrington Stanley having an absolute wonderful evening at home to Bristol Rovers. They're 4-1 up, and it's only been 46 minutes. And then in League 2, Carlisle United lost at home to Forest Green Rovers 2-1 in an earlier kickoff. Cheltenham Town Barrow was postponed. Crawley Town 0, Leyton Orient 0 with 10 minutes to go there. Mansfield Town versus Bolton Wanderers was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch. Same as well for Salford City and Colchester United. And the last game in League 2, which is happening right now, 7 minutes remaining, Stevenage are 1-0 down to Exeter City. So, going back to the game, our featured watch along here on Let's Talk Sport, Inter Milan are 2-1 down to Juventus. And it's just not looking good for them whatsoever at the moment. And just as I speak, Crystal Palace have turned it around at St James's Park. It's Gary Cahill, Champions League winner at Chelsea and other trophies. The veteran centre-back has got them in the lead here with a fantastic header. He literally was running all over the place in the box, and he's put Crystal Palace ahead here. Fantastic game to watch, I think, for them as well. If you have just tuned in to Let's Talk Sport, let us know your thoughts of the Inter-Juventus game so far. Ronaldo with 2 goals. Who's been the player so far? I guess it would be Ronaldo to most of you at home. Thank you very much for the likes so far on the video. If you haven't yet, do subscribe. And we can talk about anything you like if you put someone in the chat page. Who do you think will win this Inter Milan tie? Oh, it's now 2-0 United now. Rashford with a goal in the 25th minute. That is good stuff for United. As a United fan, I'm delighted, but I've been stressing for weeks on the YouTube channel that we have lacked goals. And finally, hopefully, we're seeing some goals. But at the same time, Southampton are down to 10 men. So it doesn't look good for United if they don't win tonight, especially with a few goals. Yeah, that's not looking bad for Solskjaer's men in their race for the title, if there is a race for it. If they're still in it, that's for sure. Of course, they are a bit behind City. All of a sudden, they've got a game in hand over United. The second half should start in just a few moments' time between Inter Milan and Juventus. If you've only just joined us, where have you been? Because it's been a great game so far. If you ask my thoughts, Juventus look a lot more dangerous. And Inter Milan, the only opportunity I can remember was Martinez when he opened the scoring. It was a great cross in. It was basically a fast-paced cross from the right wing, low ball, and Martinez beat his man marker and just basically struck it home. But it went straight through the body of Buffon, which Buffon if he had enough back behind it, I think he could have saved it, and I think he was probably quite annoyed at himself. He knows he's better than that. But, you know, Ronaldo doing his magic has helped Buffon a bit there and helped him probably feel a bit settled come half-time. So he'll be delighted with that. Just before we talk more about that game, James Ward-Prowse has got a free kick here, which, if anyone remembers, when these two sides played at St Mary's back in November 29th, which was my birthday. Sorry, I had to mention it. He's got a free kick here, and we all know what Ward-Prowse can do. He can score very good free kicks, and this is the perfect zone for him. And he scored against United, as I mentioned, back in November, which Southampton still lost, but this is perfect for Ward-Prowse to make it 2-1 and get themselves back in the game. Mike Dean standing right behind the free kick for this view. Takes it, straight to the hands of De Gea. Had to punch it out for a corner. It's a great save, I must admit. Ward-Prowse approached the top right corner. I thought he was going to go for the top left, but he did well there. And I think De Gea would have seen that late on because it went just past Fernandes, who was in line of De Gea's vision, I think. He's punched it out for a corner. It's a good save from De Gea. It's kept it at 2-0. It was going in. But at the moment, Southampton do have a corner. And it's straight. Well, it's De Gea who punches it away, and United can break on the attack here if they can. Just pretty much waiting for the game to get underway. Let us know your score predictions for this second half. Palace, I think. Well, it looks as though Wilfried Zaha was offside, and he did score, did he? Yes, he did. It was either him or his teammate that was offside when it was a cross into the box, but they could have been 3-1 up at St James's Park, which at the moment Newcastle United would not like to be losing another game. Hello, if you have just tuned in to Let's Talk Sports live watch along of Inter Milan versus Juventus. 2-1 at the moment for the visitors. Ronaldo with the double. And if any of you are Juventus or Inter Milan fans, which shirt do you like more, the Eriksen shirt or the Nedved shirt? Of course, Nedved, a legend at Juventus, while Eriksen at the moment doesn't have that presence, does he, at the San Siro? He's not in the squad tonight, is in the starting lineup. If you haven't seen the lineups yet to this game, you only just tuned in, the lineups are in the description below. I think Eriksen's on the bench tonight. He is. He's on the bench next to Perisic. So they've got the options there into Milan if they want to get themselves back in this game. Perisic, he's been okay, hasn't he? He's hit and miss, really. He did alright at Bayern Munich, though, last season when he was on loan there. He won everything at Bayern Munich. I bet he wished he didn't wanted to go back to Italy. He was probably wanting to stay, but Bayern Munich didn't keep him on a permanent deal. Oh, Fernandes with a long-range effort there. Had to be dealt with by the Southampton keeper, and they've got themselves a corner. The game should be back underway in just a few moments' time. go then. Just getting ready for the second half. You can hear the announcer. And it is such a shame that the announcer is doing his job still, but just no fans to interact with it. You can't beat atmosphere like that in Europe. We're just getting ready for the second half. Come on, ref. And here we go then. So Inter Milan resuming. They are attacking from right to left, Juventus left to right. Of course, Inter in their home traditional colours of the blue and black strip. And United have made it 3-0. I think it's an own goal from a Rashford cross. Is that the face of goal? Yep, it's an own goal. If it hadn't got to him, though, it would have been Fred maybe who would have scored. So United 3-0 up. We're only 35 minutes in against 10-man Southampton. But it's all about this game in Italy. A big game in the Coppa Italia. Let us know in the chat page who you think's going to win this. And here come Ashley Young now with Inter. He owes them a goal. I think he gave away a penalty for Juventus to make it 1-1. A Ronaldo penalty that struck the roof of the net in the middle. Is a fantastic goal. Ronaldo's got a yellow card though late on in the first half, so he has to be careful, and so does Vidal for Inter Milan. So could we get a yellow card in this game? This time last week we were watching the Milano derby, and we saw Zlatan get red carded after some moments in that game, especially the collision he had with Lukaku. And Nedved just watching on in the stands. And I'm sure he knows he's got his shirt up here. I must admit, it's one of those like retro shirts. There's no badge on it or anything. It's just like a bit of a replica kind of thing. But what a legend he is for Juventus. What a player. Best Czech Republican ever? I'd say so. Ooh, there was a bit of a collision there. One of the Inter players is down, and it's going to be a yellow card for Delet, and he puts it. Delet's not arguing with that. He knows he's given the referee the thumbs up. Late challenge on Barella there, and Delet will take that for the team. So that means he'll have to be careful for the entirety of this second half. He went right into Barella, and Barella flipped. He literally flipped at a 90-degree spin in the air. Oof. You know it's nasty when you're doing a big spin. Lukaku having to watch on in the stands tonight. Let's not forget he is suspended. They could really do with his existence up front. Meanwhile, Inter Milan have themselves a free kick. Sanchez is behind it. Cuadrado and Skriniar, well, they're not they're pretty much next to each other. Cuadrado just putting his arm on his left arm, and don't think Skriniar likes that. Oh, instead, it's just a short little free kick. It comes into the box. Juventus half clear it. Young goes for it. Oh, had to be tipped over the crossbar by Buffon. It looked as though, yep, it was an Ashley Young half volley there. It was a good effort. And if that had found the back of the net, that would have been some goal. But Buffon at the right height to get that over the crossbar. Corner kick coming up for Inter Milan. It's going to be on the far side. So here come Inter wants to take this corner. Instead, the referee pausing the game for a moment, having words with some of the players of both teams in the box. I love it how the one player that never gets involved and doesn't moan is Cristiano Ronaldo when it comes to stuff like that. You never see him involved in that. He clearly can't be bothered with it. I remember there was this one time when I think it was the El Clasico between Barca and Real Madrid, and Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi would just stand there while both teams are fighting, and they both just stand there. It's pretty much, you could say in this modern day, social distancing. Keeping well away from the incident. Oh, and Cavani's made it 4-0. He scored with a header, and he'll be thrilled with that, actually, because he needed a goal after the miss he had against Arsenal, an open goal miss. Anyway, here come Juventus. Oh, no, is there a foul? I think it's a free kick for Juventus. It's at the midway point inside Inter's half. Inter have got to be careful, because the last thing they'd want is to be 3-1 down. And this is a home tie, let's not forget. Radu caught late by Vidal, and Vidal's got a yellow card already. I don't think the referee, I think the referee will just give him a warning though. It stopped the run of play. Instead, Ronaldo will leave it for his teammate to take the free kick. It's quite far out, especially for it to be direct. Alexandro and Ronaldo lining up for the free kick. Comes in, header straight to the hands of the goalkeeper. No problems for Inter Milan with that set piece. So Southampton, well, they're going to want to go home now. It's only been 40 minutes. They're 4-0 down, and they're a man down. With the Juventus goalkeeper Buffon. Good header there by Cuadrado. Now with McKennie. Be sure to subscribe to Let's Talk Sport and give this video a like and comment on the chat page. Anything football related, or even anything random. Maybe something about Italian pizza, maybe. Why not? Who doesn't love pizza? I think United have themselves a penalty. I might be wrong. I've just seen Mike Dean point towards the spot nearly. Well, Cavani's down at the moment in that game, but if you haven't seen it yet, United are 4-0 up. Oh, it's just outside the box as well. Luckily for Southampton. That is all. They could convert into a goal, you never know. It's in range for Fernandez. Free kick that is. The check in VAR. Southampton just want to go home now. There's no way they're having a long night ahead. Bastoni for Inter, now with Darmian, Skriniar. I think it's a throw-in for Juventus actually. Thought it came off. Yeah, it was Barella. Actually, came off Barella's knee just before it went out when he was up against Alexandro. Throw-in taken. It's gone to the. Well, the check in the VAR on the United one there. It's definitely a free kick. I don't think that's a penalty. Nah, just outside the box. I don't know why they're checking so many times. Nah, he makes contact just outside the box. It's not even on the line. It's going to be a free kick. Either way, it's not good for Southampton. Could be 5-0 before they reach half time. Juventus at the moment though are 2-1 up here at the San Siro. I think they'll take 2-1 here, won't they, if it stays like this, but Inter Milan need to get themselves going here because they've just not really had the chances since the opening goal. Here they come now, Juventus though on the right hand side. It's with Demero. Oh, and he'll go for goal, takes a deflection. Oh, the goalkeeper, he just, luckily makes the save and it goes behind for a corner, but he didn't have full control of it. He had his hands like this, arms like that, where he was just hitting and hoping that it went behind, and it did. But here come Juventus with the corner. It's Ronaldo on the left wing. Confidence is just not there with Inter at the moment, and it's a long-range strike at the end by, I think it was De Ligt. Yeah, it was way off target, and that is why he's a defender. Goal kick for Inter. Meanwhile, United are still lining up for this free kick. I can't believe how long it's taken for them, really, because the VAR didn't need to be checked that many times. It was so obvious. And Mike Dean's just given a yellow card to someone, I'm not sure who. If it's a Southampton player, then bless them, because they can't afford another sending off if it ends up being a red card later on. Oh, Inter trying to go on the break of attack, and it's a foul on the halfway line. United's free kick, I think, has gone behind for a goal kick after all that. It was Bruno Fernandes, another Portuguese star at the moment, along with Cristiano Ronaldo. It was I think he tried to get it under the wall, and they did jump, but luckily for Southampton, their feet caught the ball. Inter Milan offside. Oh, Inter Milan, oh, surely, oh, it's a hell of a block near the goal line. Sanchez's shot, well, it would have been in if it wasn't for the block. Sanchez thought he put Inter Milan back in the game. Instead, he'll try and take a quick corner here. Somehow it's kept out. I didn't quite see which Juventus player blocked it, but my word, that was a vital block. It was past Buffon and everything. Sanchez takes a short corner to Ashley Young. It's back with Sanchez now. He brings the ball in, header. Oh, miles over the crossbar. And Juventus get themselves a goal kick. They're re-showing the moment there with Sanchez. What a block. And I'm not surprised Damari is celebrating that with Buffon. He knows how big of a block that was. Plenty of game time left though, still over half an hour to go, as Inter are looking for this equalizer, and Sanchez yet again gets a corner for Inter, this time on the opposite side. Went for a shot which was blocked by De Ligt. De Ligt didn't have any nervous moments there. And it'll be Sanchez to take the corner again here. Here it comes. He doesn't find any of his teammates in the box, and it's a Juventus who header the corner away. Oh, intercepted though. Back with Sanchez, who stays near the corner flag. Crosses it in, dangerous. Straight to the hands of Buffon though. None of the Inter players were there to make the run for that delivery. Let us know your thoughts in the live chat page. Do you reckon Ronaldo can score a hat-trick? He's one goal away. Here comes Cuadrado. I think there's been a yellow card for one of the, well, it's Barella again who's involved. He's been in quite a few collisions tonight. Well, both players were high feet. Oh, it's Barella who, not really sure. I think it's 50-50 really. I think I'd have just given that as a throw-in after what I just saw. Inter have a throw-in. Of course, there is options on the bench for Inter. They've got Perisic and Eriksen as their attackers. No Lukaku, let's not forget, he's suspended for this one, but he should be able to play in the reverse leg, which will of course be in Turin next week. In another empty stadium, which, how long will we not have fans for in football, because we certainly miss it. Here come Inter then. Deep into Juventus half. Ashley Young wins the header. Keeps the attack going. Oh, try to get a through ball in there too. Oh, I just couldn't get to him at the end. Of course, there's another game tomorrow in the Coppa Italia. Napoli versus Atalanta. I think it's at Napoli. To start off with. Yep, it is. And then they'll play next Wednesday as well. So both games of these have been on the same day. Let's have a look at Serie A's table. AC Milan still top, 2 points ahead of Inter despite the defeat to Inter last week. Late drama that game was with the Eriksen free kick. Could he get a goal here for Inter, because he's on the bench at the moment and Conte may look to him. Inter Milan offside at the moment, as we have now reached just over an hour. But I mean, it's funny because I think a lot of people are expecting Eriksen to be gone in this transfer window, but the problem is not many teams have money at the moment, and Conte, well, they weren't going to get any players in. There's not many clubs who had anything to do with the transfer window this time. I'd love to know how quiet this January transfer window was. It was very quiet. Deadline day, there was nothing going on. There's no real stories apart from like Liverpool sorting out their defence. Joshua King going to Everton, but only a loan deal. You know, it's not much money involved. It looks as though Perisic is going to come on for Inter, so he's seen enough, hasn't he? Quarter of an hour in, he wants to make a change and get this scoreline to go on their side. Here's Sanchez. Couldn't keep the possession for his team, and Juventus intercepts down the halfway line with Ronaldo. Half time at Old Trafford. If you haven't seen it yet, Man United are 4. Yeah, that's right, 4-0 up against Southampton. A team that's been lacking goals over the last few weeks have kind of done a Leeds United again, haven't they? They've been able to find some early goals to pretty much put the game to bed, and the reason being why Southampton are struggling is because they were down to 10 men after 2 minutes, which is a shame really in terms of the competition in the game. You don't want the match to be over like that, because let's be honest, red cards are a big game changer. It's a real shame, and it was McTominay who was the victim in the tackle, and that's why Southampton are down to 10 men. Yeah, Juventus though since the game's begun again, since the half time, Juventus are a bit quiet. I think they might be trying to play a bit defensive. Here they come though. You just never know with Ronaldo. He can just bring spark out of nowhere for them. Serie A table, as mentioned before, AC Milan are top with 2 points clear of Inter. Same amount of games. Goal difference though is 8 behind Inter Milan's. Roma on 40, so they're 6 points behind with 20 games as well. Juventus though, they have a game in hand which they would need to win to try and go 4 points behind AC Milan, which, you know, Juventus have certainly got a great chance still to win the league, but they can't afford many more slip-ups. You know, we're at the halfway point in the league season. Oh, cross comes in. And I think it might be a corner for Juventus. Last touch coming off Ashley Young, it will be. And here we go then, I think this is the first substitution of the game. Ivan Perisic is going to come on for Inter Milan. And he does replace Ashley Young. Ashley Young, well, he was responsible for the penalty given to Juventus when he was pulling down Cuadrado in the box, which could have been avoided, because if you re-watch, the ball was nowhere near coming for Cuadrado to try and equalise. It could have been left, but it's easy to always reflect when you watch the replays. Here comes the corner for Juventus. No real headed threat there. It's now with Cuadrado. Now Weston McKinney. And instead it's gone all the way back to the centre circle. Be sure to subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. We'll be doing, we're hoping to do a live watch along tomorrow night. Myself and Sebastian True for the other Coppa Italia semi-final tie, which is between Napoli and Atalanta. That could be a very good game. Two teams in the top 6. Actually, sorry, Atalanta, alright, top 7. Atalanta are 7th at the moment, but they're only a point behind Napoli. Napoli do have a game in hand though, if they were to extend that lead over Atalanta. Chip in the box from Inter, finds no one. Oh, stop in the run of play there. The referee, I think he's just said play on. Juventus trying to break on the counter there. It's now with Perisic, who's just come on for Inter. Vidal. Of course, if this stays like this, the headline will be Ronaldo. Getting Juventus the win in the first leg, getting the first word. Of course, the curtain close of this tie is this time next week in Turin, which we should hopefully be able to do a live watch along for that as well. Plenty of games going on this week. We're hoping to do Spurs Chelsea on Thursday night, which I'm sure we'll be doing. And then Friday night is Bayern Munich. For you Bayern Munich followers, we'll be doing that game. As they, of course... Oh, hang on, Inter have got a good chance here. Oh, Darmian shot is saved. Good save by Buffon. Close range effort as well. And Buffon showing his older reflexes there. And showing people why he is still one of the best in the world despite his age. Darmian cut in, beat his first man, and then had the goal in front of him. And it was straight at the hands of Buffon. It's a good save, and I have a feeling Conte might just make a substitution. At the moment though, Juventus have got one. Danilo's coming on, and he's going to replace Biardeschi. Looks like it's more of a defensive move by Pirlo. Just over 20 minutes to go in to have themselves a corner. Right foot take by Sanchez. Buffon says thank you very much. Now here come Juventus. Ronaldo, plenty of space in the midfield. Ooh, has he won a corner? I think the goalkeeper just stopped it from going out on the line. Ronaldo screaming at the linesman nearby to say it was a corner, but referee sticks to the linesman's decision. Perisic on the left wing with Sanchez. Oh, it's on the edge of the box. Inter. They couldn't keep the possession. Just a bit of a miscommunication there on who's going to kick it or who's going to keep the attack flowing here. But now here come Juventus, 3 against 3. It's in the box. Oh, he couldn't keep the ball going. He's lost it. Barella's got it instead. It was Kuliski who had the possession in the box for Juventus, and he wasn't sure what to do with it. He was trying to get past both of the Inter players, which was always going to be tricky. Maybe it was a bit too late. But here's Vidal. Oh, it's a shot at goal. Oh, it's just over the crossbar by Lautaro Martinez, the man who opened the scoring in the first half. Tried to curl into the top right corner of the net, which Buffon, I think if it was on target, I don't think they would have found the net. I tell you what is crazy though, is the fact that you've got Pirlo, who is now the manager of Juventus, and you've got Buffon, who's still the goalkeeper, which Pirlo retired a few years ago now. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? I think Buffon, if I can remember, he's 42, 43. He is 43. Yeah, he was 43 actually, as of last week. He was born on the 28th of January, 1978. So Buffon, another year older, just another year in football for him. It's absolutely fantastic to see. If you've just tuned in, do give Let's Talk Sport a like and give us a subscribe. We'd very much appreciate it. It's going to be a substitution here, and it is going to be this man right here, Christian Eriksen for Inter, who was the hero last week at the San Siro in the Milano derby. He replaces Vidal, who this time Vidal could not score against his old club as he did a few weeks ago in this tie in Serie A. And he's actually stormed off there on the sidelines. Vidal, I don't think he's happy by Conte taking him off. Oh, shot at goal at Buffon, but it was from Darmian, and the referee has paused the game here, and it will be a free kick for Juventus. It was Eriksen trying to go for the ball, and it was a handball off Sanchez there, which I think if they had continued and scored, it wouldn't have counted anyway. Well, Vidal's back on the bench, and one of his teammates has just put a coat over him while he's sitting on the stairs, and he's just not happy, I don't think, either with his performance or by being taken off by the manager. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. Juventus doing well here by holding on to that lead thanks to a double from Cristiano Ronaldo in the first half. He hasn't really had the chances to get a hat-trick yet, but as I've mentioned before in this watch-along, he brings up magic out of nowhere. You can easily forget about Ronaldo sometimes in matches, but then he just out of nowhere comes, and it's going to be a thrown for Inter, I think. And it looks as though Pirlo's getting ready for a substitution. He's just told one of his bench players to basically get off the chair and get ready, and it's looks like it'll be Alvaro Morata, ex-Premier League player, which didn't quite work out at Chelsea. Of course, a lot of ex-Premier League players in these two teams. Oh, a bicey effort there from Barella. Off target at the end, no threat for Buffon to deal with, but he did well. He was in a sandwich of two Juventus defenders, but he was still able to make the kick. That would have been some goal and some equalizer if that had found the net. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. We're at 320 followers at the moment. Our aim is to get to 400. Hopefully it won't take us too long to get there. 350 at least on our next mark. Back with the game. I'm not really sure what happened there. There's a lot of calls from both teams saying that there was a foul, but at the moment it's going to be a throw-in for Juventus, I think. There's a bit of pulling going on between the Juventus and the Inter. Sorry about that, folks, if you've just tuned back in. We just completely lost connection there to the Wi-Fi, so sorry about that. We're back in play though. Nothing's happened though, as you can see on the score line. Time is still with us. 13 minutes to go, still 2-1 to Juventus. Yeah, so sorry about that. We just lost a bit of a Wi-Fi connection there. The connection didn't take too long. Meanwhile, Inter Milan have a free kick, and it's Eriksen behind it. It's another short free kick. He swings it in. It's a poor kick at the end because it's just gone out of play. Doesn't get to anyone. Perisic will be a bit annoyed with that as well because he was in the box hoping to do something from that free kick. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, you've got Chiellini and Kolarov having the chat on the sidelines. And actually, while we were disconnected for a moment, Cristiano Ronaldo has actually gone off, so he won't be getting a hat-trick. Such a shame. Such a shame. Not tonight. But either way, he's helped his team take the lead here if it stays like this. I'm a bit surprised he's gone off, but maybe at his age he just wants to rest it if he can. I think I remember with Ronaldo, I think some scientists said that he's got basically the body of a 20-year-old. I mean, that's how fit he is, how healthy he is as a footballer. It's absolutely crazy. Here come Inter. Still don't know how to get this equalizer, I don't think. Looks like there's a foul from Radu. And Inter Milan have themselves a free kick. Been a lot of free kicks tonight in this game. It's going to be Eriksen. Take it. Swings it in. This looks dangerous. Juventus deal with it in the air. And now, can they go on the counter-attack? Radu starts it off with Morata, who's just come on for Ronaldo, so he's got a fresh pair of legs against these Inter Milan defenders. And instead loses the ball while on the run from the left wing. Inter Milan have it back in possession. Well, Inter have got 10 minutes. It's now with Eriksen, who's just come on as well. Of course, Vidal went off, and let's not forget he had a yellow card to his name. So I think Conte was maybe a little bit worried that he's had moments in the game since that yellow card that I wouldn't say he would have got another booking, but I just don't think Conte likes the idea of Vidal not being available for this cup tie if he was to get a red card. Hello Mattis, who says Murin. Hope you're all well. If you haven't yet, Mattis, do give Let's Talk Sport a subscribe and this video a like. Be very much appreciated. I noticed from your profile picture on your YouTube, are you a Barcelona fan? Because I can see Messi as your picture. Of course, a Ronaldo rival back in the La Liga days of Barcelona and Real Madrid. Are Barcelona playing tonight? Can't remember. Here come Juventus now, looking for that third goal to bury the first leg. Morata holds the ball very well. Now with Rabiot to Melo Arthur. It's going to be a throw for Juventus. If you're still there, Mattis, who is your team? Barcelona? Is that your main team? A challenge from Barella, but the play continues, and can this help Inter get an equalizer? Go on, he's going to do. Oh, Barella tried to cross the ball in the box there. Inter still have the ball. I admit, I'm getting quite warm in my house right now. It's cold out there, but I wouldn't mind. I might go for a walk after this game, just get some fresh air. It's been quite. That's the problem when you work from home at the moment. If you've just tuned in to the Let's Talk Sport watch along, it's Inter Milan 1, Juventus 2. Just over 5 minutes to go. Come again into, oh, the cross comes and Buffon was there to pick it up, but Delet instead made the clearance. I think deep down Buffon would have liked to have catched it, but when it comes to the heat at the moment, as long as you clear it, that's all that matters. And Inter Milan have a double substitution. So Pinamonti is going to come on, the number 99. As though there's, well, the referee's got his book out. Oh, he's just making, I think he's just making a mark of the substitutions. So double substitution. Sensi has come on as well for Inter. Last chance is now for them, time running out, to at least get a draw ahead of their trip to Turin. So Sensi coming on for Brozovic and Pinamonti coming on for Bastoni. That's a late challenge. I think, is that Delit? He's already got a yellow card. Yep, it was off Delit. He's already got a yellow card, as I just mentioned, and it was a late challenge. Now, if you ask me, That's the second yellow, but referee has not even looked at it again. He's just gone play on with a throw-in, so could have been a red card. I think Gillette will be on his last warning at least. And Arthur's been given a yellow card for Juventus. 3 minutes to go. In the other games in the Premier League right now, Man United are 4-0 up against 10-man Southampton in the second half, and Southampton were down to 10 men after the second minute. A late challenge on McTominay, which probably changed the game straight away, I'm sure. Actually, if you think about it, for United as well, it'll help their goal difference. Because they're on, if the table stays like this after their result at 4-0 tonight, it put them still just 10 behind, still 10 behind City, but only 5 behind Liverpool on goal difference, which could be the big factor of this table this season. It's such a mad season in the Premier League. Plenty of games to go yet, though. Minute and a half to go. And we've had no goals in this second half. Ronaldo's off. Is on the bench, so that means there'll be no hat trick. So you may as well ignore that question in the live chat page if you've just tuned in. Got both goals though. Big win this will be for Juventus. And it looks as though this could be the last substitution from Juventus. Chiellini's going to come on, the veteran defender, the Juventus legend. Actually, it's going to be a double substitution, I think. Chiellini's coming on for McKinney, and Chiesa is going to come on for Kulusevski. Seems to be a bit of a roar going on on the sidelines. I'm not sure why. Pirlo gives McKinney a pat on the back as he puts his coat on. That's him done for the night. And Kulusevski has just come off now to wrap up the double substitution for Juventus. Can't go wrong getting a pat on the back from Pirlo, Andrea Pirlo, a Juventus legend, an Italian football legend, Italian World Cup winner. You can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong. We're just about to reach 90 minutes. How much added time will we get? We only had one in the first half, despite the fact that a VAR check had to be done for the penalty that Ronaldo scored. 4 minutes of added time. There you go, confirmation there in front of you. Oh, Sanchez a bit late there, and he'll get a yellow card, I'm sure. late challenge. His first touch was really bad, and then he tried to get the ball back. And by the time he did, he stretched his leg out and caught the Juventus player, and there's no doubt whatsoever from the ref to give Sanchez a yellow card. Sanchez, it's so easy to complain about it, but he'll watch back and he'll know it's a yellow. It's a bookable offence. I think it's more just frustration because it stops Inter's attack and wastes time. But let's not forget, there's a second leg next week. They may have to travel to obviously try and win this leg back, but they're only a goal behind if it stays like this. Now imagine what a killer it would be now if Juventus can get a goal late on here to make it 3-1 before going to Turin. 2 minutes left of stoppage time. Ooh, is that going to be a throw? And I think it will be. Last touch coming off Darmian there. It's deep into Inter's half. Surely the Inter players got to be up for going for one more goal if it's possible. I would. Throw-in's taken on the far side. Oh, easily intercepted. Oh, Juventus have got it back. Is it a free kick? I think it is. Oh, just over a minute left. Of course, if this was just a one-legged game, you would just defend like hell and keep the possession, but you know, being an extra goal up would really help them. Ronaldo watching on the sidelines with his big coat on. Conte is biting his nails. I think time's running out for Inter to get anything from this game now. I think it's just try and stay at 1-0 down. Oh, there's another foul. I think Juventus have got themselves another free kick here on the left wing. Darmian involved again. He's got long hair these days. If any of you United fans are wondering what he looks like, he's got a big haircut now. And actually, after all that, Inter will get themselves a free kick, and it's a yellow card for Morata, who went right behind Barella to try and win the ball back. Yeah, easy yellow card, I think. .30 seconds to go of stoppage time. Inter Milan about to concede defeat in this first leg. Oh, that was a foul on Morata, I think. And it will be a free kick. I think this might just be the last kick of the game. Martinez responsible there. Well, it was going all so well for him when he opened the scoring in the first half. And since then, that's the only real thing we've seen from Inter. They've had moments, but again, it's just not happened for them. And there it is. The final whistle there from the referee. And the first leg goes to Juventus here in San Siro. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, who else being the headline act of tonight's game. And what a game it was in the first half. They were 1-0 down after 9 minutes from Martinez, but then Cristiano Ronaldo on the 26th minute scored from a penalty after Ashley Young was caught with a foul on Quadrado. And then Ronaldo later on, a few minutes later, a big mistake between the Inter goalkeeper and the defender just outside the box as well, made Ronaldo intercept and just score an open goal. Only just, it was a tight angle from the left wing, and then it hit the inside post to determine that it was going to be a second goal for Juventus. Sadly though for Ronaldo, he didn't get a hat-trick tonight. He did get substituted with about 15-20 minutes to go in the game, but you know, it's been a good win for Juventus. They were 1-0 down and they've turned it around. And let's not forget as well that they had lost this game a few weeks ago in Serie A in the San Siro, and a great improvement. And Andrea Pirlo will be delighted with that. It's exactly what they needed. You know, this is a team that are underperforming, maybe you could say, in the league this season. They're, you know, a few points off the top at the moment. They've got a game in hand and they need to win that to get at least 4 points behind AC Milan and be level on games by then. But there's still plenty of games to go. The Serie A this season is very exciting in terms of the top of the table. So yeah, the Coppa Italia is certainly something that someone like Andrea Pirlo needs to win. I think to just get that, just to get some of those doubters out of the way. If you ask me, you look at other managers like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who don't have much experience. They don't actually have much to stand on to be the manager of those clubs. But and let's be honest, they wouldn't be managers of their own clubs if they hadn't played for them and were legends as players. So it's interesting what Pirlo's doing there. And actually, just as we talk about that, United are 5-0 up, and it's Anthony Martial who has scored. Anthony Martial has had a poor season, and that's exactly what he'll need with 20 minutes left to go there. In case you're wondering, Man United are 5-0 up to Southampton, 70 minutes gone. You're probably wondering, why is it such a one-sided game? Well, that's because Jan Kwaski was sent off after just 2 minutes on a really nasty challenge on McTominay. Wan-Bissaka opened the score, and then followed by Rashford, and then an own goal from Bednarek. And Cavani scoring with a header, which he'll be delighted for. That's some confidence for him. And Martial gets one. And it's Bruno Fernandes who gets an assist for Martial. So he hasn't scored yet, but he'll be delighted that he's at least got himself an assist tonight, at least before it reaches full time. So anyway, I think we're going to wrap up here. So thank you very much for all of you who watched our live watch along this evening of Inter Milan versus Juventus in the Coppa Italia. We'll be putting out the highlights from this game later on our channel, so do subscribe to Let's Talk Sport if you haven't already. Give us a like for this video, and of course give us a comment. Show us your thoughts on the world of football right now, or on this game potentially, of what has been a fantastic win for Ronaldo and the black and white army of Juventus. Of course, we'll be here again next week for the live watch along when it gets played in Turin. Same time, same place next week on Let's Talk Sport. Remember to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. And before we go, I nearly forgot, we'll be here tomorrow night for the live watch along of the first leg in the other semi-final, Napoli versus Atalanta. Do not miss it. Have a good one.